Hi everyone, it's Kim. Welcome back to my channel, Ev Lady. Though it is the middle of July, in the middle of the summer, I caught a little bit of the Gilmore Girls bug and have started rewatching. I just feel like it's just such a comfort show. And though it is associated strongly with fall, I actually just finished rewatching season 1, and I think most of the episodes really take place during like the winter time. But it definitely has the cozy fall feels, which I am looking forward to. I am that annoying person that in the middle of summer is like, I'm kind of done with the heat and I want it to be fall. I thought I would have a little bit of a Gilmore Girls themed weekend. I think you can do this any time of year, and with the summer, like Rory getting ready to go like back to school, and so definitely like a lot of like bookish things, doing a little bit of the Rory Gilmore's reading list, just thinking of like all your high school reading books, stopping by a few bookstores, thrifting for some 90s, 2000s Lorelai and Rory outfits. I think in the summer is the perfect time to like start thinking about fall outfits, because the thrift store will probably have lots of fall things that no one's kind of really looking for in the middle of summer. And yeah, we'll just see what we get up to. And of course, the first #1 Gilmore Girls rule is lots of coffee. I'm not going to drink as many cups of coffee as they say the Gilmore Girls drink, but this is my second cup, and it's only the morning, which usually I'm just like a 2-cup a day person. So far this morning, I've had my 2 cups of coffee, and I have been reading Crime and Punishment. So I was reading that. I have a couple other books that I have on my list to read this weekend because I wanted it to really feel like I am living the Gilmore Girls vibes. And so I have a couple other classics, and I do have another list of different like recommended books to check out that I happen to have in my bookshelves that are on the Gilmore Girls list. So a couple of the books I want to read. So Crime and Punishment has been taking me a minute to read, so I'm hoping to also read some shorter books to finish some. So I have Ernest Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises, and I have The Great Gatsby. So these ones shouldn't take me too long to read, and so I'm hoping this weekend to read through those. These are definitely like thinking of like your high school reading list, and I read Great Gatsby in high school, but I haven't read it since, and I think I will appreciate it a lot more in my older age. So these two I have on my list. Virginia Woolf is also mentioned quite a bit in Gilmore Girls. Like I said, I'm rewatching. I just finished season 1, and on the bus, Rory is reading this version of A Room of One's Own, and I had the same version of To the Lighthouse, and I've read this one, and maybe I'll be able to find A Room of One's Own when I'm thrifting today. I would love to get this like same copy, because I just think that'd be so cool. But I also have a collection of shorter fiction, and so maybe I'll read some stories here as well this weekend, because yeah, a few different Virginia Woolf novels are referenced, so maybe I'll read through some of these today as well. So that'll be like my little reading list for this weekend. And I do think that these also, I think it's like these are on my summer reading list anyway, so like a little bit of a summer vibe. So we got summer, we got Gilmore Girls. See, like it works. And yeah, so that is the plan for this weekend. Hi guys, I am back from my little adventure. It was a really fun afternoon, but I am pretty tired, and by the end of the afternoon it was getting a little too warm for my like Luke inspired flannel. But yeah, it was nice I took the bus downtown and did a little shopping, and then made my way to some thrift stores, and then I walked back home. So it was a nice like afternoon out, and I got an awesome haul of books. I feel like I have some really good spots for finding some like used books. So I'm excited to share with you what books I found. And yeah, and the other like little thrifty finds. I have some kitties playing behind me. You see her? This is Odette. We just adopted her a couple months ago. She's so sweet. She likes to bite though. Come here. Come here. Ugh. She's 2 years old. Okay, go play, but leave your sister alone. Patches is like, what did you do? Why did you bring me this like little kitten? Leave her alone. All right, so onto the book haul, and I'm probably gonna be yapping a bit about it. I have like all my reasonings for like picking out these books. So I mentioned before heading out that I was going to be looking for some Virginia Woolf because I feel like that's a very Gilmore Girls author. And like I said, I've read To the Lighthouse, but I haven't read some of Virginia Woolf's other works. And I didn't find A Room of One's Own, but I did find Mrs. Dalloway. So I feel that goes well with my little collection of Virginia Woolfs. And a lot of the books that I got today have like movie adaptations, which I'm like keeping a list of the movies to watch. And I've seen The Hours before, but I hadn't read Mrs. Dalloway. And so in The Hours, Nicole Kidman is Virginia Woolf. And there's like, The Hours is based on another novel, but that intersects with Mrs. Dalloway. So I'm excited to read this. And like I said, there's my little Virginia Woolf. Another author that's mentioned quite a bit in Gilmore Girls is Edith Wharton, and I love Edith Wharton's writing. I started with this collection of ghost stories actually, which I think is a little odd to not start with like The Age of Innocence or House of Myrrh, but I really loved this collection and it really just drew me into her writing style. And then I've also read Ethan Frome. This is a really like quick book. So if you're wanting to start to get into classics and want something pretty quick, it is pretty bleak. So I think if you like the type of books of just like a rich, like who is this character and what's their life about and about people missing opportunities, then you may like this one. But like if you've read John Williams Stoner, you might like this because it's the same type of like character who's kind of just letting life go by and is having a hard time making decisions. But when you don't make a decision, that is a decision. So that's Ethan Frome. And when I was at Twice Sold Tales, which is one of my favorite used bookstores, they have a bunch of little cats like wandering around, though when I think I was like there during the cat's sleepy nap time. So I didn't see many cats, but it's a really great used bookstore in Seattle. So I got a couple of Edith Wharton books. So I got Summer. I just really love this cover and I love a little Signet classic. And this is actually set in the same New England, same dark, rigid New England she used for Ethan Frome. So I'm excited to read that and it fits in with like our little summer vibe. I also got Edith Wharton's Letters from the Underworld. So this is more of like an essays, I think, in like examining Edith Wharton's writing, but I just loved the cover and yeah, I'm excited to read more of this. I also have on the way from Thrift Books, Age of Innocence, because I haven't read that yet, but it is on the way. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to buy a copy of that. Next, I found another little Signet classic of Dante's Inferno. So part of the Divine Comedy. So I found, where is it? I found Paradise in my local Out of the Closet, another one of my favorite places to find books because they're like $2. And for some reason, the one by me in Capitol Hill, I feel like people are donating like really good mass market paperbacks. So I found this one at Out of the Closet. And so then when I saw The Inferno in the same edition, I was like, oh, I have to get it. So now I have 2 of the 3 of the Divine Comedies. I just need Purgatory, but now at least I can start. Because when I bought Paradise, I was like, why am I buying the last of the 3? But I just couldn't, you know, resist. So, little Dante collection. And speaking of books with movies, I haven't read anything from Emile Zola, but I feel like I keep seeing this on like my Bookstagram, and I love a little penguin orange spine, but this is like the movie tie-in of In Secret, and I love Oscar Isaacs and Jessica Lange and Elizabeth Olsen, so another movie I've added to my list and I bought the little book for. And yeah, I've kind of been like more into the movie tie-ins. I think if they have like more of like a retro type feel, then like I used to kind of like avoid the movie tie-in covers, but I feel like sometimes they like have it. So another one of my movie tie-ins that I have is The Virgin Suicides. And because it's like the Kirsten Dunst movie, I was like, oh, I actually really like that this is the movie. It even says movie tie-in on the side. That's so funny, but so those are my little movie tie-ins. And yeah, maybe I'll watch this tonight. Should I read the book first or watch the movie first? I'm probably gonna want to read the book first, but that's my little like movie tie-in. I also, so those were the books I got at Twice Sold Tales. I also went to Goodwill. My Goodwill, every once in a while I find something really good, but it's not guaranteed. So my Goodwill, they also don't have like a large books. I really like them for like the homeware stuff, and sometimes I'll find some good clothing, but I got Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. So I have the Penguin, Pride and Prejudice. I also have this really cool edition of Sense and Sensibility. I got this one at Out of the Closet a while back, and I got this one at Twice Sold Tales. So these are just my favorite places. And so Goodwill, I got Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. When I was checking out at the cash register, the guy was like, oh, I just watched the Pride and Prejudice movie the other night. And I was like, oh, I've heard good things about the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies version, so this should be fun. And I do need to reread Pride and Prejudice. I read this one in probably high school, but I haven't read it since, and I recently read Sense and Sensibility, so I need to read this, and then I'll read the Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies version. So those are all the books that I found on my little adventures today, but I also wanted to show you some more thrift finds. These are not necessarily Gilmore Girls related, but you know, maybe if we like put our minds to it. So I found this little evening bag at Goodwill. I'm going to a wedding in October where I'll have a black dress, and so I just thought this evening bag would be good. It is very Y2K vibes though still, so you know, I could see Lorelai or Rory bringing this to one of the school dances or the Friday night dinners. So it's a clutch, and it came with a short chain, and it came with like a really long one, so I thought that was nice for $5. And all the beading seemed to be intact, so that was cute. I also have had this, I keep buying these little like creamers, the little cream pitchers, the like little mini pitchers, and I bought this one at Goodwill. It has these like little glazed hearts, and I felt like it was kind of like could fit in the Gilmore Girls kitchen because it's just very like kitschy. Says it was made in 1983. So I feel like they might have had this, you know, in their kitchen. It's a little just small creamer. I just thought it was so cute. And like I said, I've been kind of obsessed with the mini creamers. So at Goodwill, like last weekend, I got this little flower one that I have my lavender that I picked myself in. This one was actually like an England one. I just thought that was perfect for my little lavender. And then this came in like one of those bags that Goodwill has, like where you're like, oh, you have to buy the whole bag. But it worked out for me because I liked this little glass creamer too. And I just have a little plant, and this one already has its roots. I thought that was cute. So those are my little collection of little creamers that I've just been using as like little vases. But maybe I could use this to pour the cream into my coffee. So in addition to like my little used bookstore and thrifting adventures, I Nordstrom for the anniversary sale. I've actually placed like a few orders online, and then I just had to wander around, and I don't even want to think about what all this totals to be, but it's all been like really good things. So I'm like, I think it is worth it. One of the things I've been searching for so long for is like the perfect red boot that like looks a little vintage, but is still modern. That's not too dressy of a boot, like still casual, but can still be worn with skirts. And when I was watching Gilmore Girls, I was like, oh, Lorelai's always wearing these like really cute, like deep red burgundy boots. And I still haven't been able to find mine. Like I've bought a couple different pairs and returned them because they were just not right. Like the leather was not good quality. The heel was too high. They looked too dressy. So I found these at the Nordstrom anniversary sale. And I think these may be the boots. Because I feel like they look good with jeans and they look good with like skirts. And they're just such a good color. I feel like they like can be like casual and like nice. And they're like the perfect shade. So these are from Fry, and I got them at Nordstrom. And the leather is just so good. Like that was one thing that I was noticing. I was like, I don't want to pay so much money and then have them not be like good quality leather that I could have for a long time. So I feel like these are going to go good with all of my 90s fall outfits. They have more like of a square toe, which I think also gives them like more of like the 90s vibe. So I just had to get these, and I think they'll be perfect for a Gilmore Girls fall. So those were the boots that I got. Should I show you the other things I got at the anniversary sale? Okay, I'm going to show you. Again, they're not really Gilmore Girls related, but other than those boots. But let me just show you the whole haul. So always from the Nordstrom sale, like every few years, I'll buy a new pair of Ugg slippers. So I got these green fluffy ones. They are so soft and plushy. I like don't even want to wear them yet and ruin them because they're just so cute. And the anniversary sale always has really good deals on the Ugg slippers. I think I have the more sandal style that I bought maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, and they still look really nice. And so now I have these little like fluffy, more cold weather ones. I also really love their beauty deals that they have in the anniversary sale. So I got the Anastasia Brow Essentials. This came with, already used it. Where is it? It's such a skinny little pencil. So now I'm like, did I lose it in my bag? Oh, there it is. It came with Brow Wiz, and it came with the brow gel. These are just handy everyday like essential products, and they usually have like that kit year round for like a good deal. I also got this set of replica autumn fragrances. This one has Jazz Club by the Fireplace and Autumn Vibes. I just thought this would be so perfect for the fall time. I've had a sample of Jazz Club before. Everyone loves and talks about By the Fireplace all the time. And then Autumn Vibes sounded good as well. I put them back in here. And this came with like a lot of like really like a pretty good size. I think this was $39. So I felt like this was a really good deal for their perfumes. And that they are a spray. So I hate getting samples that aren't a spray applicator. Oh, that smells so good. So now I need to stop buying perfume. I've become a little bit like influenced by the book talk girlies that do their like perfumes and classic books. And I'm like, I like that. I like that vibe. But I need to stop with the perfume. Another fragrance related thing that I like to get from the Nordstrom sale are candles. So I was debating between getting the diptyque set or getting the Voluspa set, and I didn't know, like I saw this in person and I was like, oh, this has like all the scents that I like in like the mini tins. So some of my favorites are Forbidden Fig, Temple Moss. I think it has their amber scent. So I was excited to get this little set of 5. Yeah, this has Santal Vanille, Baltic Amber, French Cade Lavender, Forbidden Fig, and Temple Moss. So yeah, these are all my favorite candle scents. I stocked up on the Barefoot Dreams Cozy Socks. These are the best fuzzy socks, and it's always nice to get a fresh pair for the season. And this came with a deep forest green, my favorite color, and the beige. And well, these look so cute together. Yes, they will. And finally, last but certainly not least, when you know, guess how much I spent for everything, is the All Saints black t-shirt. I have this in gray that I got last year, and I have a green one that I bought recently on sale, and then I got the black one. They only had one left in my size, and so I thought it was perfect. This is just the perfect baby tee that's not such a baby tee. Has like the little cap sleeves, and it's just the perfect length where it's not cropped, but it's not too long, so I feel like it like looks good with a bunch of things. And I feel like that's kind of Gilmore girlsy, the little baby tees. Okay, so now I think that is all my haul. Like I said, some of these I've been like buying and ordering over time, but not over that long of a time. So I need to stop. I need to stop buying books. I have too many. I need to read them. And I do not really need any fall things. Because I think I'm stocked up. I think I'm good now. But I just thought those were some really good finds for some things that I have been looking for in some of my essentials. So I think the plan for this evening is, of course, I'm going to have to watch some Gilmore Girls and cozy up. Maybe light one of my candles. Should I light a fall candle? Maybe light one of my candles, watch some Gilmore Girls. I also need to start my book. So on the bus, I was reading some more of Crime and Punishment, but I think maybe I'll read The Great Gatsby this evening, because I do think I can finish this in an evening. I think I will just curl up, relax, read this, watch some Gilmore Girls afterwards, and let's get to reading.
Are turning brown, red and yellow, soon they'll be falling down. Now, I'm not ready, not just yet.